Good evening, everybody. This is Born Political, but not Born Political. Today we are here celebrating 10 years of SEC TV. Yes, if you didn't know, I'm here to tell you, 10 years. 10 years ago, they came up with this model and this idea that they were going to give access to folks like me. If you guys watch my show or many of these other shows that you see right there on your cable, if you're watching now, that's all because SEC TV gave us a platform. My platform happens to be 5:30 to 6 on Thursday, and luckily we've had our party every year at that time, so it coincides. I am Joe Dela Cruz. I'm going to be hosting tonight. After 10 years, you can imagine that they've met and dealt with a lot of folks. There's a lot of talent, people that do the shows. If you're close, I'm going to tell you this right now. We're going to be going for a couple hours here. There's food. There's a little vino. We're gonna drink some wine. We're gonna relax. We're gonna have fun. There's some local artwork that's up on the walls if you want to come and see some of the stuff they've done. But this has really been a collaborative effort. Right now, there's two studios. SEC TV, the one right here where I'm standing, right in Groton, next to the post office, between Benny's, and then there's one on My Rock Road right over in Waterford. Tonight, my goal is to, if you can't see it around because I'm just standing here right now by myself, but there's folks all around the room. We're going to have them come up. We're going to talk a little bit about what the impact was for them, how SEC TV has affected them, or why they're here tonight. We're going to bring everybody on. But for now, if you don't know about this place, it's a local platform. If you came in, if you wanted to do a show, if you wanted to find out more about what they do here, just come on in, and you basically need your own crew. My wife was my producer. I don't know if you saw the credits before it came on. Jeremy Lyda, I want to thank him. He does all the camera switching usually, but they do have staff here that can help you. They train you. They'll take your folks and teach them how to use the camera, how to adjust the sound, how to go in and out of not commercials. We don't really have commercials, but how to start the show, how to end the show. There's a lot of different things that they do here, and to me, it's not an experience I never had before. I didn't know that I could do it. It's free. You just come in and you got to put the work in, but it's a free platform. It's giving us access to what I think one of the best studios you're going to see. It kind of looks like a News Channel 8 studio. I don't know if you've never been to this one, but if you've been to another professional studio, it's very, very similar to that. Let's see who we can grab here. How are you? Oh yeah, good to see you too. We got one of the show hosts right here. You want to come on over, say hi? Yeah, put that down. We got food. You can bring your food on. You can do whatever you want. This is one of our fellow hosts. How are you, my friend?
Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too. 10 years going, right?
Yeah.
Remind me, how what show do you have and how long you been?
Exploration of the Fine Arts. It's an art show.
Art show. Camera's right over there. And
Oh, yeah,
so
okay.
you have the art show. Yeah, you know the studio pretty well.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
How long has your show been going on for?
Maybe 7, 8 years. It's been a while.
Wow, 8 years, and I have seen the show. Thank you.
I was going to say, what do you mean, I haven't seen my show? Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen your show. I didn't remember the name of it though.
I know.
Yeah.
It's all right. How's it going?
It's going great. How's SCTV? What do you think of the platform? It's been 10 years they've been providing this wonderful spot. What do you think?
I think they really did it up nice. They got a new cyclorama up there.
Yeah.
New lights, all kinds of beautiful things. Look at the lights on the back on the site. It's very new chairs. I don't know.
Yeah, we're up. We've upgraded.
Yeah, right.
Looking good.
Frank's doing all right.
Well, we got like I said, there's tons of food here. So
Well, I'm going to go eat.
yeah, go eat.
All right.
All right. Good talking to you. All right, that's one of the show hosts that comes out. You've seen him on TV here. If you're watching this, this is a station that you probably see. Let's see who else we have here. Mr. Sheridan, you want to come on up? I'm going to get Tony Sheridan on TV. I don't think he was expected to be on TV tonight, but we're gonna bring him on over. That's the Chamber of Commerce here locally. Who else do we have? We have Frank. We'll make sure we bring on the president. The young man that does a lot of the work. We're going to bring him out here tonight. Mike Anderson. Mr. Sheridan, how are you, my friend?
Good, Joe. How are you?
I'm great. This is
Good.
usually called the Born Political Show, which I will get you on now that you know where the
We're not
studio is.
political. The Chamber of Commerce is neutral.
You know, it's funny. My Born Political Show is more about the people and the players and who's doing things around town.
That's-
And for the audience, so what organization? I know you're with the Chamber, but
Yeah, I
if you
know.
wanna-
Well, I'm the president and CEO of the Chamber of Commerce of Eastern Connecticut, and we're just completing our first year with our new innovation co-working location. And for those of you who may know New London, we are in the old Merrill Lynch building. A wonderful building. We had it completely renovated, and now we have a number of startup companies in there, and things are going well.
Yeah, so you're right down the street from what's going to be the new Coast Guard Museum.
That's correct.
And there's a lot of excitement around that, I know. So what are you thinking of that? What do you have any dates in your head of when you think that may be done?
26. They're going to be opening up in 26, and the city just got some money to expand the parking garage in front of where the museum is going to be.
Excellent.
And they'll be putting two more layers on that, which will be very much needed. New London is booming right now. I mean, it's a lot of good stuff happening.
We hear there's a really wonderful, which I haven't been to yet, because I think they just opened, but the new brewery that used to be at the Olympic Sporting Goods, have you had a chance?
Joe, it's an amazing place. I was there last night for the first time to
Excellent.
celebrate a person's birthday.
Yep.
And honestly, you need to see it. It's an
I
amazing
saw the
place.
plans for it, and I saw
Yeah.
while it was under construction a little bit, but I just, they put a lot of money and a lot,
lot
of
of
heart,
money.
heart and a lot of sweat and tears into that building.
And actually, and as an Irishman, I can say the beer is pretty good.
Pretty good. Listen, if you know an Irishman, when he says pretty good, that's probably top of the line great.
It's actually pretty good.
Well, that's
It really
great.
is.
That's good to
it's
hear.
Great for New London. Parking is a bit of an issue now,
It is.
which is the case in Mystic and everywhere else. But,
Yep.
you know, if we didn't have a need for more parking, commerce wouldn't be doing well, would it?
Yeah, when the parking problem occurs, it means that everyone's done their job correctly. I think.
Exactly.
And that's what everyone's goal is. So, SEC TV, I know you mentioned this is the first time in this studio. You have been in the Waterford one.
Right. Back when I was first selectman, I used to do a program just like yours.
Just like that, having fun and talking to people.
Yeah.
And what do you think it means to have a platform like this and to continue supporting something like this for the community?
Well, I wrote a letter this year for the studio. They were looking for some help from Hartford.
Yeah.
And first of all, and that signals my belief that this kind of program is an important program. Now, there is a problem in that it's not advertised enough.
Yeah.
I think more people need to know that it can be a resource for finding out what's going on in their local community. And the newspaper, you know, is having difficulty all over the country.
They are.
And but the local access can really fill an important.
I think it's a medium that's really important.
Yeah.
When you lose a newspaper like we have, I mean, even now the Day is our major source, and
Right.
I think there's a lot of folks there that do a lot of hard work. But if you don't have the readership, it's hard to get the
You
power.
don't have the revenue.
You don't have the revenue,
Yeah.
which means there's a lot of employees that are doing 2 and
Right.
3 jobs that used to
Right.
be 4 and 5 people's
Yeah,
jobs.
there's a
So
lot of good people there, but
There are.
they're pushing water up a hill.
yes,
They really are.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
they're going to survive. It's an independent newspaper, and it's it's not owned by a corporation that's demanding
Yeah.
dividends every year. So I think they have any newspaper has a chance to survive. It's the Day.
yep, I think so too.
So you look
And
like
we'll
you
all
just came
collaborate.
off the island here.
I feel like I did. Listen, I had a flannel on while I was at work, but I'm hosting a show here, a 10 anniversary party. I threw this in my truck for right after work to put on because you have to feel happy, right? 10 years is an accomplishment in the
Absolutely.
business world, in the private sector world, in a nonprofit world. We know how difficult that is.
Big accomplishment. No
It is.
question about it. Yeah.
It is. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is Tony Sheridan. Knows everything you want to know about local business, and we're proud to have you where you are. We thank you.
I'm happy to have anybody that's listening come by, and we have a fabulous kitchen in our center, and we'll buy you a cup of coffee.
All right. Right here.
Nice seeing you, Joe.
Good to see you too. Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Sheridan. I've known him for quite some time. He's always at a lot of all these events. But he has a pulse on the community. The fact that they moved right in downtown New London, the fact that they're right down the street from the Coast Guard. But we can talk about these things on this platform. So if you're sitting at home wondering, sometimes we don't know the things in our community that make our community great. Well, this is certainly one of them. You want to come on and say hi? We got a doggy in the studio today. What's the dog? What's a puppy?
This is Dipsy Doodle.
So we got Dipsy Doodle right here on Born Political.
Star of Grandma's Attic Music Review.
Oh, okay.
Have
How
heard
are
of
you,
Grandma's
Dipsy
Attic
Doodle?
Music
He thinks it's a sausage. I haven't, but
You haven't heard of Grandma's Attic Music Review?
not yet. Where can we find it?
SEC TV. Saturday nights, Tuesday nights, Friday nights,
All right. So I gotta get back on to watching.
and YouTube.
And YouTube.
Once we air here, we go up on YouTube. It's all about the music, all about local. When I say local, I mean New England, kind
New
of.
England. Yeah.
But it's all live music and all live interviews. Been doing it for a long time.
Okay.
Since when SCTV was Metrocast.
Oh, so you're an original.
I am.
Oh, so we have an original here. So we're talking about tonight in the 10 years and what it means to be a nonprofit, to not just survive but thrive. And we know that times are more difficult. We have streaming and cable, and how do you fund something like this? But what would you say the importance of having a venue like this?
First of all, there are people that don't stream, and there's people that don't have anything but cable. They don't know how to get invested in technology.
Yeah.
Let's just say that. Public access TV serves our common people and gives people that aren't out in the community, maybe they're immobilized, maybe they're kind of not driving anymore, certainly our elderly and our stay-at-home moms. Watching public access TV gives you stuff for your kids, stuff that's educational, stuff that's historical.
Local.
Absolutely local. Local, I mean, that goes without saying.
Yeah.
But if there's an emergency, we need public access TV.
Yeah.
Public access TV tells us what to do in case of an emergency, walks us through the steps. That's so important. The funding that used to come to us has kind of dwindled away because of the internet, right?
Yep, exactly.
Right? So how do we fix that? In my opinion, we need to look at the people that are making all the billions of dollars that forget about us locals,
Yep.
that are feeding each other in what we do. My show doesn't just do the music. While I'm sitting there waiting for them to change guitars or whatever, or come
Yeah.
over for the interview, I tell people, remember, this is a community. Buy local. Shop local. Do what you need to do to support your local mom and pop shops. Go to the local galleries. So I say those things on my show, and then I put music on stage for people that don't go out to clubs, that don't go out to coffee houses, that don't go out to live concerts. And they get to see that amazing music.
That's awesome.
And then they get a little interview, but public access gives us the ability to do that on a very minimal budget. Like, I don't have to spend billions
Yeah.
to get people to come into the studio.
And you're getting a professional product out
Right.
of it. Like
Absolutely.
when people watch my show and I see it's the grocery store people, right? When we
Right,
talk
right.
about local, no one from Hartford says, "Hey Joe, I saw your show," but it's the Groton. It's some folks in New London will say, "Hey, I saw your show. I saw
Right.
I was glad to see that you interviewed the Park and Rec director."
Right.
Because I never met that person, and that's really the you're not going to get that kind of quality
That's
or
the
that kind of
nuts and bolts
a
what we
platform.
do, why we do. Sitting in
Yeah.
the doctor's office. I'm sitting in the doctor's office, and this gentleman,
Yeah.
he was older than me, which is hard to do. He's like, his eyes, he got off the elevator, his eyes lit up. And I'm like, and he comes scooting like a little old man. I know you, you're on TV. I watch your show.
Oh, that's awesome.
He says, sometimes I don't like the music, but I always like the interviews. And the music makes me think about things.
Yeah.
So public access TV has so many different shows that open people's eyes. Thinking Green, for one. That's a show that's
Yep.
been over at the Waterford Station for a long time.
Yep.
They make you think about so much that's going on politically that's not Democrat or Republican.
Yeah.
Let's look at the whole picture.
Yep, I think for the most part, when you look at local public shows, it's a bipartisan show because we're just talking about what we're doing around town. Everybody wants to fix a pothole. Everybody wants new schools and nice, safe, walk-in area. We all want those things.
We do.
And it's not a partisan issue.
It's not.
And it really comes out that way. I found my show is called Born Political, and I did it for a reason to show people that politics can be civil. Because
it should be.
It should be.
Right,
And
right.
you know what? Fight about those 1% of the issues that we don't agree with, and those are going to deserve vigorous debate and whatever we want to call it. But if we really sat down and say, hey, 90% of the things we agree on, let's talk civil about those. Let's hammer out the other stuff.
About those, and let's bring it all back down to what it's really all about.
Yeah.
And it's about neighborhoods and kindness to one another.
Yes.
And in today's political, whatever is going on, at that level,
Yeah.
when we bring it down to this level, it's really all about taking care of you and I and our tribe,
Yeah.
our communities, our elderly, our children,
Exactly.
our handicapped, our less than, our people that are suffering. I work in the homeless sector. That's what I do.
Yep.
I'm a social worker.
Thank you for the work you do.
It's not about that. It's about helping people find hope.
Yep.
And that's what we should do for our neighbors, and that's what public access TV. Dipsy thinks he should go get cookies.
Dipsy's getting really out of. Dipsy's like, why? Look at this Dipsy do. All right, we have Mike who's in back. Mike, I want Mike Anderson to come out here. We're going to talk to Mike a little bit.
Pleasure
You
talking
too.
to you.
Great talking to you.
Have a great night.
See you, Dipsy. All right, we'll get Mike out here. We got. I see another show host here, Peter Roper. We have a lot. Where's Mike? Is he back there? If he can hear me, come on out, Mike. If not, we'll get somebody else. Peter Roper, how are you? We got Mike. I'm gonna do Mike, and then I got you, Pete. Mike Anderson has not been on my show, but he's always behind the scenes guy, the guy that makes the cameras go in and out, the volume go up and down, all these different things. I was excited because when Mike came, he actually replaced one of the Franks. I think last year we kind of surprised Frank with a little party. He was here for a very long time, great person. He's also been able to help and transition and bring a new guy in. We're really happy to have you down here. What do you think? I mean, have you been here quite a year yet? Or past a year?
On the 12th, it will be a year. I'm not switching the volume, so that's why I'm going to speak closer because
okay.
everyone else back there, that's all. I got one camera tonight.
All right.
But I got the volume knob, so I'm trying to keep myself on that. I started the 12th of December last year, and Frank didn't have a party, because sadly he had a family member pass away, so I started during that. It was a little quieter last December, but I still got in a good amount of shows with Frank Falciro.
So we're going to call him a 10%er because he's been here 10% of the time that they've been open.
Yes.
You've been here 1 year.
10.
They've been here 10
That's
years.
the ratio.
I think that's a pretty good ratio right now. How are you liking it? Well, where are you from anyway? You're not from down here.
Long Meadow, Mass.
Long Meadow, Mass.
Not too far. I still got my Mass plates on.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
Where you driving from, though? You're local.
Westerly, Rhode Island.
That's not too bad of a drive.
Oh, it's great. It's a great drive.
Yep.
Just-
And we're talking about a lot of people. Well, you're behind it. You've been hearing what I say, but actual having access to a platform like this, you're someone that's on the technical side, and when nobody's going to watch a show that's not put together right, that they can't hear. That's nothing like this. This is a professional studio. What's the importance of regular local people having access to a platform like this, you think?
Well, here we've done a lot more as well than just the shows. I've been teaching people how to edit. One of the biggest thing Frank told me about this place is that everyone in the community can do it. It's a big freedom of speech kind of platform.
Yeah.
We put on our at the beginning of every show, the views don't represent our opinion, so we have to take anyone.
Even me.
Even Joe, and which we love. We love Joe. We love all our producers. We don't have anyone that we don't want here. We have great people, and it allows people to come on the show and talk local issues. Local issues are great, and we got Will Morrissey is around here somewhere. He's been talking about all the things you can do in the area. Yep. You've been interviewing all the vital people that are in the local community, selectmen, Parks and Rec. I know you have a lot, nonprofits, a lot of things, and it helps bring the community together. And as a lot of people do these days, kids are editing these days, but a lot of people still don't have that time to learn the ins and outs to get a good production out. And we'll do that for them, and we'll get it on YouTube. Yeah. Our YouTube channel, we'll get it onto your YouTube channel. And we're just here to help people get their work.
So if somebody, I knew about the show part of it. Actually, I understand that you are doing some editing with folks. I didn't know that because when I come here, I do my show and I leave. So there's folks that will call you up and ask for help editing things that they'll actually bring in their own video, or this video that's made here.
Well, I have Cynthia Warren. She's on the channel a lot. She travels all around the country. She has a video from, I'm just going to take a wild guess. I'm not sure. It could be 5-10 years ago. I'll say 5, of Mauritania, that I'm helping her put together like an hour-long documentary of her experience in Mauritania. And she edits a lot of her older stuff on her own with some help, but I've been really teaching her some advanced compositing techniques even. Stuff that I learned at Emerson College. She can come here and learn that. That's awesome. And then I've gone out in the field recently and filmed with her. She's doing a monologue from Shakespeare, Joan of Arc, and she used to film out in the field on her own. And this time I gave her a little production bump with some higher end. We might even be using a drone. I don't know, but it's looking really nice. And Dr. Sulo, who was interviewed recently too, I got to get in his studio and in a museum with him so that we can edit some new museum. There's about 30 minutes to an hour little documentaries, and I'm excited for that.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Mike Anderson. It's the guy I email each week, telling him, did I find a guest? Did I not find a guest? I got a guy blocking my shot right here, but that's okay. Yeah, this is what happens, right? You can still see me. We're good. It is a party. So if you're close and you're local, come on down. Mike, thank you for doing everything that you do. I'm glad that you like the job, and I'll see you more this year, man.
Thank you so much for keep coming in and supporting us and everything you do. Yeah. And having me on your show for the first time.
Don't worry, we're going to get you on the show. We're going to find everything out about him next time. All right. We are, yes.
The live might have stopped already.
Okay, that's fine.
But we're going to get this on later. So.
Okay. All right, so this has been great. I mean, that's a career too. I don't know if you guys, you may not understand this, but this is a young man that he started his career, and he's learning a lot, but he's also learned how to help community. Let's bring the Presidente here. Frank, how are you?
Well, thanks, Joe. How are you?
All right, so you're the guy.
Well, thank you. We have a great turnout. I'm very grateful for all the people that are here tonight.
It is wonderful turnout.
To celebrate our 10 years and look forward to many more. I can't believe it. It's one, and you've been such a great part of our success by doing your show, supporting us when you were a state representative, and that's, to us, is just, we're so grateful. So
well, you know what? It's very easy to support something that is this well run. That really, to me, is really a part of the community that, to me, is like a library. It's as important. It's given me a platform, something I didn't know that existed. But so 10 years, I just talked to Mike, the newest employee. He's got 1 year coming up. I called him a 10%er because he's been here for 10% of the time.
There you go, right.
that you've been here.
Great. He caught right on. He has a background in TV, and he's really fit in very well here. Yep. So we're glad to have him, and he's taken over very well for our former production manager, Frank Fulcero.
Yes.
But he's doing a great job, so we're happy to have him. And we've got a lot of good shows right now. We're always looking for more, and that's part of the goal is always to get more people involved. And things have changed where we're now on the internet.
Yep.
We're online. So people are not watching TV the way they used to, but there's still this need for this local coverage of community events, local issues that I don't think it's ever going to go away, as far as the need for it, and people don't watch TV. I mean, it started with an antenna, when TV started, and then it evolved into cable, and now it's online and streaming. So we're keeping up with all these different changes in technology, and we want to just keep going and inviting more people to use the service, and it benefits the community. We actually serve now 14 towns total, because we're on the Groton side of the river and of the bridge, and then the Waterford region as well. So we've got 14 towns, and we just want to do what we can to keep the communities connected and make it a relevant source for, like, your organization, Community Speaks Out. I mean, if these organizations are great, but if no one, it's one more way of making people aware of them. So,
and you'd be surprised, but I shouldn't say surprised, because you probably know that there's no real way of tracking how many people are really watching and see you. But when I go to Pfizer sometime and I'm local and I'm in a grocery store, people say, "Oh, Mr. Born Political." Yeah. People actually see it, and not only do they see it, they talk about the people that I interviewed, because oftentimes it's somebody that ran the Park and Rec or the Senior Center, or it's somebody that was connected to them in a very real way, and they didn't know these things about the person. And I think there's a lot of connection when you go into a Senior Center and you got to watch and learn about the person that actually is running the program, and you got an idea of, okay, that's why I understand them a little bit better. I know why they're passionate about one thing or another, because you learn a little bit about them. And I think it's a human connection, and I think that we've lost a lot because the internet and because people, you kind of scroll. This is all real local. Like, you're going to see people that you see at the grocery store.
And there are so many local organizations that we have helped over the years create more awareness of their existence, and they don't have the budgets to necessarily have a huge ad campaign, and so this is a public service that we offer. And like you said, we have all kinds of local people here tonight. I mean, we've got Ava Frankie, the widow of Sergio, who ran the Music Foundation for 25 years, raising scholarships for students. We've got Suzette Tebus from the Mystic Aquarium and from Majestic Jewelers. So we've got all kinds of people. Even Bridget Morrissey. I mean, this is like a who's who of local people from the local town. So I'm very grateful for this turn.
How many board members do you have? So, 'cause this isn't
7, and we could actually use 1 or 2 more, because one of our board members moved to Buffalo, New York, and she was wonderful. Harriet Grayson, and she did a show with us, Community Culture Showcase. She was bringing in all kinds of organizations, everywhere from. And that's a good point, that we don't just limit ourselves to the area that we cover, the 5 towns. The next state over is Rhode Island. So the Westerly, Rhode Island area has the Granite Theater. She used to have organizations like that on. She's had on the Guard Art Center, all kinds of cultural events she has promoted. And now that she's not here, there's a void, so we'll have to find someone else who wants to do that kind of a show. So
we got to remember too, we're in New England, so our state and state lines are not very far. We share a lot of the same interests. We know a lot of the same people. So it's great to have that kind of outreach, and I thank you for your vision. I mean, for 10 years you guys have been here. These things don't just happen, and they don't just self-sustain. Yeah. So what we talked about was, again, if you do like this program and you've seen something that you like, and you want to come down to either learn more about it or do your own show, Frank would love to help you out. But what I ask you to do is call your legislators, tell them that this is something that you like, something that you want to see more of, because things, we always assume things just will always be there, but we know that's not the case, especially people that go year to year, trying to figure out how you continue to provide a service for people that are out there. So there is a big ask, that we want our legislature, our governors to jump on board, and maybe as communications change, as revenue streams change, we have to kind of figure out a new way to support this, because it is important, and I know there's a lot of things on your mind that way.
Absolutely. Well, being that you mentioned it, our state rep from Groton, Andre Baumgartner, is here tonight.
Yes, he is.
And he has been very supportive of what we do and very aware of what we do. And he sees the need for this type of service in the community. So he's here tonight, and he shows up. He's someone who is very sincere and genuine, and he will speak out and really.
Chris is on her way too. I think they're going to present.
Oh, wonderful! Oh, that's fantastic. We've had a lot of good community support from the leaders, and we've got more people coming in now. Here we have, I think, a couple more.
Frank?
Yeah.
She's been on the show, and so was her husband.
Yeah. So
we got the message out about Little League on this.
Maybe I'll send it over to you.
Yeah.
Come on over.
Oh, look at this.
All the airtime.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what? We'll have you back on when Representative Conley shows up, and we'll do a little presentation to you.
Great. I think we should break out the cake too.
Let's bring a cake. We got cake? What? Let's go. All right, so we're gonna keep on going. We have some more people to interview here. We got a lot of folks that just walking in. All right. We have some folks that are leaving. They got here early. The early birds are on their way out. Love you, Liz. We didn't get Liz do on the behind the mic, but I think she's relaxing today. We've been very, very busy. Mayor Franco, you want to come up here and talk a little? She just got here. I got her right out the gate. As soon as she walked in, why not? We got the mayor here. We got the mayor's husband. What's up? How are you, Mayor? This is Mayor Franco. You guys all know who Mayor Franco is because this is a local show, and you better know who your mayor is. How are you, Mayor?
Doing well, thank you, and thanks for inviting us here tonight.
Oh, so happy.
10 years. Huh?
10 years. Not for me. My show's like 3 years old.
Yeah.
You were on the show. A lot of people that have never been here before, I don't think they understand the quality and the level. What do you think of the platform? Like, what's the importance of the community, you think, to have like a SEC TV, where people can actually get on a show and broadcast to people and tell them their opinions?
I think it's pretty awesome. I think it's a necessity so that locals can have a place where their voices can be heard. And I think it's, as far as I know, it's free to come in. They teach you how to use the equipment. You can put on your own show and...
I did it.
Yeah.
I did it. If I did it, I mean, I just came in. We didn't know how to run a camera or anything like that. So we have a whole crew. And I actually had the mayor on the show a couple times. I had your husband on the show a couple times because, they're the power couple in Groton. I don't know if you guys know that. The mayor's doing all the stuff politically. And then in the other political realm of youth sports, Dave Franco's been very, very powerful, I'd say, down at the Little League.
Come up here.
Oh, we'll have him come up. Why wouldn't we? How is the town doing? There's a lot of exciting things that are happening in Groton, right? I think most people come, whenever people stop me, they ask, what's that huge building on the hill, like when you get onto the onto the bridge?
Under the bridge, yeah. That's Triton Square. It's going to be approximately, I believe, 350 apartments. And
So we have 600 new friends.
yes.
Maybe more.
Maybe.
Probably more.
Maybe. From what I understand, it's going to be a really nice facility. They're going to have, cookout areas, a pool, community spaces for the residents to get together. And from the renderings I've seen, it's supposed to be very nice. And it is. It does.
As
look very
always,
large.
you're the mayor. I got to put you on the spot. People are asking about our empty schools, Mayor. You guys are making progress, aren't you?
We are making progress. We put out a request for a proposal for Groton Heights, and we received those back, and we've got some committees formed, and Groton Heights is going to be the first on the docket. And then Pleasant Valley will be going out to request for proposals, and the bids will come in. We'll check those out. Those are supposed to be coming, I believe we're setting that one out in January. And that's it for now. Wow. And then I know a big talk is about SB Butler, and that hasn't come to the council yet, but it's with the town manager and his committee, and once that comes to the council, decisions will be made.
And if you're out there listening and you want to have a voice,
But there was William Sealy, that's now Triton Square.
yes.
And there's Colonel Ledgard, and that is being built into apartments. It's gone through the planning over in the city, and things are being approved.
They're going to incorporate the old building with some of the apartments.
I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like that historical feel to it.
I know, I do too. I do too.
Yeah.
And then what else? Claude Chester. Council had sort of made a consensus that we want to keep those sports fields and enlarge Quantic Plains so that we can have a complex, which is right next to the senior center and the library. And I will tell you, last night I was at the senior center, and when I walked outside, the lights were on at the roller hockey rink, and it was awesome. And so many people were they're utilizing it, and it's something that would have been shut down because it's dark out is now refurbished, has lights, and the kids are out there using it. And I was so excited to see that.
They say build it and they will come. I think they've proven that with a lot of different things. Mayor, thank you for all the work that you've done here in Groton. I don't want to hold you up because there is some food over there. And I got Mr. Peter, come on over.
Mr. Roper, come on in.
Mr. Roper.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mayor. Mr. Roper, how are you? I think the cornerstone, one of the cornerstones here.
I have have to say, nice shirt.
Thank you. I love the shirt.
I should have worn my Hawaiian shirt.
You should have. I think
Closet full.
they say the 10-year anniversary is happy, flowery, right?
Yep.
So I thought I had a flannel on all day. It was pretty cold today. If you're from Groton, you understand.
Stage shoes, so.
Oh, you got your colorful shoes, so you're ready to go. So,
Happy anniversary to SCCTV.
exactly 10 years, and I know you've been here. I don't know if you've been here for the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
So we have the full timer
We were
here.
doing it before they moved to the studio and separated to be SCCTV when it was
Okay.
still Comcast was doing it up on 184.
Oh, okay.
So the studio was up there. We used to do programs up there. So
And nobody knows the importance, probably more than someone's been around this long, of having a platform. I think, 10 years ago, it was probably one of the only platforms. Now everyone says, I go on my phone and I can do a live video. But I do live videos all the time. It doesn't come out with the quality that we're able to produce here. I think people will look at my show and say, hey, that's a real show. They feel like I paid money and I'm producing it. When in the end, it's a service that's been provided to me through a cable and network fees. And how important do you think it is for people to get the message or have this platform?
I think it's more important than ever. The political situation now, where a lot of people, I feel, were misinformed or uninformed and made a terrible choice. And we need to keep providing information that's, grassroots,
Yeah.
the local level, people can hear. I mean, we do a lot of political stuff. You do a lot of political stuff. And that's a good way to get information that's accurate. Because there's a lot of crap out there that's not true. And this is important because it's so local. And anybody can do this. I think it's important to know that people can come in here. You can learn how to run the equipment. The staff is great. They'll help you. They'll give you pointers, and you can do your own show. I mean, that's how you get started.
It's how I got started. I didn't.
We
well,
had you on as an interviewee a couple times
You
because
did.
you were running for office and
Yeah.
doing good stuff.
Yeah.
And then you started doing your show, and we feel like proud parents.
well, I feel like a proud
Richard,
son.
who do their program now. It's the same thing. They talked to us about it. We said, do a show. And they
Well,
said,
the first time I stepped foot in the studio was on your show, and I didn't ask any questions about how much it cost to do. I didn't ask what level it took to kind of get to where they were, and lo and behold, later on when I was interested in trying to do a show, we looked into it, and I had friends, and they said, "Well, no, you can go down, and they'll help you. You do need your own volunteers that will help run the cameras, and because it takes more than one hand behind there. And actually, I think I've been very fortunate. I have Jeremy Lyda, my wife Tammy, who is a producer, but doesn't come as much as a producer should. But Jeremy does a lot of the work. The quality of the show that you see has a lot to do with what he's doing. Mike Anderson back there, he is a staffer. We rely on him, and Frank himself. Frank's run the show when Mike's not around. So it's a small knit group. But when I'm in
it's a pretty efficient operation.
it really is.
But I got to say, in that vein, we're in trouble financially from what I've gathered because people are cutting the cable or finding other ways to get their entertainment and news and whatever. And it means that we're not getting that funding because it was part of the ratepayers that paid a tiny amount basically per year to help fund this for everybody.
Yeah.
At no cost. I mean, you can come in here and use this at no cost. And,
It's almost
and
like
we have
the
to find-
mall.
We have to find another way to keep this going because it could die.
Well, it could. I think when Frank was up there, we talked about how newspapers have we don't want to say all but gone, but they've either stayed independent like today and have become very light on their feet. They have a lot of great employees there, and they're really trying to put the right information. They are. And
They are hardly covering women's basketball. UConn women's basketball, the number 2 team in the country, and they have a little tiny article by AP, and I sent an email to tomorrow. I said, what's going on? He said, well, we lost 2 people. We didn't replace them, and we don't have the staff, and so we're going to cover the men more than the women.
Aye.
And that's not good.
But
That's good.
I will point out, when you say something like that, it means what other decisions are they making of what they're going to cover and what they're not going to cover? Because there's things that are very, very important to somebody on one side of town, and if it doesn't get covered at all, and that's why I think having a venue like this. So say in 5 years where a lot of things are frozen out, this may be the source where you get your local news. I mean, where someone comes up and says, hey, I'm going to do a news story about Groton, and we're going to do it, and that's where you'll be able to get local stuff. Well, without the platform, and I don't want to hear that going live on Facebook's a platform, because I do both. And this is just a lot different. The quality comes out better. I think when I see people in the store, they feel like that they watched a show and that they learned something. You don't get that with me holding a phone up. Yeah, exactly.
That's happened.
It has happened, right?
You look familiar. You ever on TV? I said, yeah, I've been on TV. My wife puts me on.
I got a face for radio. That's what I say.
But it's really a great place for people to tell their story. I mean, you got lots of stories. We've had stories with interesting people or projects that we want to support.
Yep.
This is a great way to do it, and it's a lot more interesting than reading an article in the paper even.
Yep.
But combined with an article, and then you see something with the real people, it's much more impactful, I think, and useful.
It's the pauses, I say, right? There's an article, but then you interview someone. You see someone pause in between words, and you get a different feeling from what somebody wrote. Because remember, when you get an article, it's a reporter writing something that they heard in an interview. When you see an interview on TV, you're hearing it right from the person that is saying it. So and when you hear someone say two different conversations, I'll walk away and say, well, Peter said this. I think he felt this way. And somebody could say, no, I don't think he felt that way. I think he felt another way. And my wife and I do that regularly, where we walk away from one person and come out with two different. But I think it's good to see people in action and answer questions. And you guys have always done a great job at that.
We try. But one thing I want to say before I get off here is that, to the people that are watching, and if you like this and enjoy it and think it's important, you can actually just make a donation to SEC TV. Any amount is helpful and useful and keeps us going. So go online and make a donation.
I forgot to ask for that, and I think that was a great point, and we should ask everyone. This is a public service.
On our programs, we should mention it when we have a program. We should say, send in a donation.
That's a great point. I'm going to start doing it next Thursday.
Give us some points.
They're going to say, Joe Delacruz asking for money. That almost always happens.
and if you've got an idea for a fundraiser or something that we could do to generate some funds, that would be helpful too, because there are things that are successful, and we could try something different.
That's a great point. We need to do more of that.
Yeah.
So sometimes
We may have to, so we got to start thinking about it before it's.
You have to tell people. The fact that we're doing great things doesn't mean that people know about it. Yeah. That's what I always say. No matter what group you're in or part, where Community Speaks Out, we have to keep reminding people that the work that we're doing, and I think the same logic applies to something like this. Although I believe everyone's working hard and we're doing great work, sometimes people feel badly about patting themselves on the back and saying what a good job. When I think of Frank and Mike and a two-person crew and then a board that donates all this time to make sure that we have this platform, people that do the work, many times their head is down and they're never patting themselves on, and they don't tell people how important it is. And you got to do that today. You remembered.
Yep. And like I said last night at the discussion on politics at the Democratic meeting we had,
yep.
I think marketing is important. It's not a dirty word. You need to sell yourself. You need to sell what you've done. You need to point out when the other side is doing something wrong. And both of those are important. And we've got to do more for nonprofits, for politics, for everything.
Yeah, I think the government's leaning on nonprofits
You're
now.
a great example of it. So keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks for everything. Thanks for having me on your show and introducing me to SEC
Hey.
TV.
I'm glad you carried it forward.
Oh, I'm glad. Thanks for having me.
Happy parents.
Is Chris Conley going to make it? Oh, she is. All right. I was wondering if she was going to make it. I thought maybe we were going to have to back out on us.
No, she'll be.
How are you?
So we do have a special presentation.
We do.
But I'll be the warm-up act for now.
Yeah. So this is Rep Bumgarner. You guys know who he is, right? If you don't know him, then you ain't been in Groton you just got here, because Rep's been around for a little bit. Rep, what do you think of the importance? To me, I know personally because I have a show here and it means a lot to me. You've been here and you've been able to talk with multiple different interviewers. You were on my show, but you're able to get your point, and people get to see this. It's not hearsay. Like, I ask you a question, you answer it, and they can watch it on TV. What's the importance again? This kind of venue and keeping it alive.
Well, Joe, thank you for having me, and I just got to say, what makes this incredible organization amazing, and every night, people log in and tune in at 6 o'clock, 5:30, 7. Great programs day in and day out. And what makes it special are people like you who volunteer their time. This is a nonprofit, right? This is not a for-profit institution funded by you, the taxpayers and ratepayers of Connecticut, by virtue of the cable companies and a fee that they pay, and it's so critical that this institution continues to provide great programming, and it's incumbent on legislators like myself, Representative Conley, the entire Southeastern Connecticut delegation, to continue fighting for public access. Because without public access, we can't get the word out about what's happening in our communities. You and I both are familiar with Groton Municipal Television, so we know when it comes to the council meetings, when it comes to our boards of eds, when it comes to our boards and commissions, those meetings are already being televised. But for communities like Stonington, communities such as Montville or Ledyard, they don't have their own public television networks. So who televises those meetings? Southeastern Connecticut Television does. So we're actually getting the word out at a time when we have news deserts. Unfortunately, our newspapers are also struggling, and they don't have the resources to provide their reporters at each meeting. So you're getting primary source information here. You're hearing from your lawmakers. You're hearing from people involved in your community, volunteering, our small business community, having powerful conversations with interviewers such as yourself. So I will fight like tooth and nail to make sure that this institution has another 20-year anniversary, a 25-year anniversary, so you can continue to make great programming.
I won't be around for that. Please, my diet's not good.
Don't say that.
I'll take my mic from me, man. I've been holding this thing all night. It's like mine. I'm kidding. Of course you can hold the mic. But everything you said really does hit the nail on the head, because it's one of those things. I compare it to a library. Yeah. And there's some folks that haven't been in a library in 25 years and drive by. I'm not one of them, because we end up going to all these meetings. We find ourselves there. But it's a resource for people where some people get their internet from it.
Yes.
Some people actually go there and fill out their job applications, and maybe if they're taking online courses, they go to there and use a computer that's at the library. And although I think most folks are in a position where they have internet at home and they have a computer, they may not understand it. There's a whole group of folks that really rely on that kind of the library, and I think the same folks are relying on this station right here. It's almost and funny thing is, I see folks that you wouldn't think. I used to say, God, who's watching this channel? A lot of people watch this channel. You know why? Because if they're looking for local news, if they want to see State Rep Andre Bumgarner, they don't want to. Sometimes I just said it.
Yeah.
When a reporter takes a statement from you, you've talked to reporters, you've talked to them for 15, 25 minutes, and then the article comes out and said, Bumgarner said he was okay with it. That right?
No doubt. Absolutely.
But there was no substance to it.
No.
There was no. How did you get there? They don't have time to write that article. I understand that. That's why I think a show like this, when I get to have you on and you say, whatever thing you're working on in Hartford, what brought you to work on it?
That's right.
Because I need to know that too. I don't need to know that you're just pushing it. I need to know why you're doing it.
You can get a little deeper and understand the process.
Exactly.
And get a tease on how the behind the scenes, so to speak.
Yeah.
So no, you're absolutely right, Joe. And I got to tell you, numbers don't lie. And you go on the YouTube channel, you'll see your views. You get thousands of views on your videos. And the beauty is, it lives on YouTube forever. It's a permanent archive, and it's a part of history. It's part of Groton history. It's part of Southeastern Connecticut history.
You
know what I'm saying?
Archive.
That's absolutely.
All right.
But that's what it's all about. And I just also got to thank Frank and the whole team here. It's a labor of love, and it's tough, right? Because there's only so many resources available to organizations like this. But I'll tell you, SEC TV is always proactive about applying for state grants for PURA through the PEG-TIA grant funds, where they have acquired equipment to improve the video what is it? The
video
audio visual equipment. Yeah.
Oh, it's all brand new.
Oh no, this is
the lights are new. They spent a lot of money here, but you can't stand still.
No.
Especially in the world today. Like
yes.
That's why the product they put out is so important, because I've had people ask me, how much I pay to do the show. Like when people see the show, they're like, because the sound quality is great. It's not some scraggly fuzzy thing. And I will say, when you have a setting where it looks professional, people really listen better.
That's right.
And it's not me on my phone.
Yeah.
People watch that too, but they're laughing.
Oh,
I'm
no
doing
doubt.
funny stuff
They're
on my phone.
actually having fun.
Yeah.
And that's what TV's all about. You know,
It
you're
should be.
supposed to enjoy yourself and listen and learn, but
Yep.
have a good time while you're doing it.
So what would you say now? Because we know you're supportive, right?
Yes.
You're one of 152 legislators up there,
Yeah.
and we know the governor came from cable, and I think people keep looking at this as an old technology, like they may look at newspapers as old technology, and how often, especially someone that's run for office, you think you're on Facebook and you're reaching everybody, because I'm the Facebook age, I'm Gen Xer, and what I did realize is, okay, everyone that's seeing it is my age.
Yes.
Because if I go on someone your age's Facebook, I might see the last post from 5 months ago, but you're an Instagram guy, or you're a this or that, and as everything changes, I think the one constant needs to be the one that most people that don't have access that can get to.
That's right.
Like you can watch us on regular open cable.
Yes.
Like you can see stuff and maybe hear about the town. I mean,
right.
maybe one day this will be someone's source of weather because it's free. Or
Or maybe one day, what is recorded here will end up on an Instagram reel or a TikTok reel, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can clip whatever, and you, man, I'm telling you, we have a great time on your show, right?
Yeah.
I could tell you, we could probably pick 50 clips in one episode alone, that
Exactly.
we could cut up for the public, because you know what, young people especially, they don't read the newspaper, and so
No.
I think this is a great way to know what's happening in your community.
Yeah, it
so
is.
as we just talked about, with time, there's been more investment in the technology. It's improved. Who knows what it's going to be like 5 years from now? But at a bare minimum, we need to make sure that we support conditions to allow this institution to thrive. And so last year, there was a bill that actually would have helped strengthen public access and provide more funding.
Yeah.
And so I was a big proponent for that. I testified in support of the bill. I just joked with Terry Roper. Unfortunately, I won't be able to testify in support of the bill next year, because I'll be on the committee that actually hears that bill. A committee you used to serve on, Energy and Technology.
Yep, and guess what? Strap up.
Exactly.
Strap in.
Oh, you know it.
Energy and Technology was the hardest committee I have been on in my life. I think, again, when and you're going to get questions, you're going to have to learn
Yes.
about technology. You're going to have to learn about what else is out there and how it all comes together. And,
Yes.
and I think what most people don't realize is when you're up there, that you become a student.
That's right.
In many, many ways, as a legislator, I'd walk away. And because I worked at a nuclear power plant, because I have a general idea of construction and the way homes work, I felt like I had the advantage. But when they really went deep and started talking about the different type of electricity and how we need to, it is tough.
Yes.
So we wish you a
that's
lot
how
of
you
luck
learn.
with that.
That's how
You
you
have
learn.
to learn that
Absolutely.
way. And thankfully, you have colleagues. You're surrounded
Yes.
by people.
Yes.
And you have to trust those people.
You do.
You got to trust them. Because if they're giving you wrong information, then
Sometimes you
nothing's
gotta hold
good.
your breath and trust them, right?
Yeah, sometimes you gotta. But I think you could say that about any private
No doubt.
business,
Absolutely.
anywhere that you
And
work
with
in
life.
life where you find yourself. But I found that Dave Arconti was the chair,
Yep.
and before him it was actually I forgot she was retired, but she was there when I was
With
on
Lonnie
the committee.
Reed.
Lonnie Reed.
Yes, yep.
And these are folks that had spent. Lonnie Reed has spent years
Yes.
on that committee.
Yeah.
So
and now
when she
David
said
Arconti is a member of the Pura Commission.
yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So when people think, when I would leave work, I'm a sheet metal worker. So I say, oh, you're going up there, you're not going to do nothing. You're just going to go up there, you guys talk about nothing, and then you're going to do nothing.
How about sitting
when the
in a public
reality
hearing
is,
until midnight? That's not doing nothing.
No. Listening to folks and trying to really understand, and the new technology that's going to come.
Yep.
You're going to see things that I'm not going to get to see, but you're legislating for people in diapers, and really in the end, what decision you make, because a lot of decisions you make, they're going to affect you, but not as much as they're going to affect somebody 20 years from now.
That's right.
You got to put the ball in play, right?
You know it.
So let's keep this thing going, man. Listen,
Absolutely.
and we have Rep Conley coming in. Is she on her way?
And we got us maybe a little something, a little special.
We got a little
gift.
something. We got a
Yeah.
gift. We need a gift, man.
Yeah, always.
Frank and Mike, and look, the other Frankie's not here, so I'm not sure what's going on with him. Go get Conley for me, and then come on back up.
I got you, bro.
All right, man. That's Rep Bumgarner right there. That's my guy. So here we are. It's not winding down just yet. There's still a lot of people here. I don't know if anybody else wants to come up. Anybody want to come up and say hi? Anybody want to say hi? Come on up. We're inviting people. Now I'm meeting people. How are you, my friend?
Anniversary special.
Anniversary special. That's what we're doing. We're just having a little bit of fun. Do you have a show on the channel? Or what brings you
Nautical
here
Tales and Nature Trails. Recreation in southeastern Connecticut and southern Rhode Island.
Yep.
We have fun with all the nonprofits in the area, all the hiking trails, libraries.
And we have a lot of them here.
Mashantucket Pequot Museum.
Okay, yep.
Connecticut Audubon Society's been on with us.
Yep.
Groton Open Space. Try to get anything that has anything to do with recreation outside because, Bridget has been in the real estate business forever, but she hates driving on I-95. So she knows all the back roads, knows where all these places
She's
are.
not alone with hating to drive on 95. Well, so on this side of the state, it's actually not as bad as when you start getting towards the west end of the state.
No,
but
anywhere on 95, East Line, anywhere.
Yeah, it is. It's bad.
But we have fun. We have fun with. He's putting it up.
There it is.
We have fun with it and bringing people on and letting them talk. Next week we've got the Waterford Public Library coming on. We've got and we've had the Mystic No-Ink Library and the Subbase Museum and Library. So,
how long have you guys had the show for?
A year and a half. We've done probably 33 episodes.
It goes fast.
Every other Thursday.
It
so
goes
every
fast.
2 weeks. So, yeah, we have fun with it. So
I think I'm on year 3 with Born Political, and it's flown by. And I don't even know how many episodes we have now.
I remember the episodes you had. Weren't you walking down the street?
Yeah. Yep. Well, a lot of my videos are on my phone before this. Now people wonder what happened and how I got so professional, but it was all because of this platform.
We have fun, especially when they put up the green screen now.
Oh yeah.
That's made a big difference here.
Totally new.
But Michael does a good job. But Frank, is the one that brought us on.
Yeah.
And Terry and Peter Roper are the ones that told us you ought to do a show on SEC TV.
Yeah.
So
that's what I got told about. I learned that they could do it, and then when I left, I didn't ask because I just thought I don't have money to spend on doing a show, and then found out that it was public service and that it was free. And so but having that access, and what we've been talking about a lot of the guests and hosts have been talking about how important it is. But I think we really need to get the point across that it needs to be funded. That although revenue streams have changed, we need to change the revenue streams with time to still give access to folks like me, like you, to be able to share this kind of information. Because especially on the trails, people they'll watch the show and they'll take advantage of things that they wouldn't have known about had you not done it.
Right. And they're trying to say, well, it's a different customer, but it's the same customer. They're looking at TV. It's just not NBC or ABC or CBS they're watching anymore. So it's hard, but the money is there.
It is.
They just need to share it the right way.
We could say that about almost every level of government or on this planet, that the haves and the have-nots. This is one of those situations, I think, though, that there's going to be a rally around this kind of this technology, because everyone I've interviewed, when they leave here, they had no idea that this studio existed. They had no idea that it was free. They had no idea that it was a public service. We all know about our libraries. We all know about the fields, the recreation that we actually keep up. But something like this, I think we need to get the word out more, because you didn't know about it a year and a half ago, right?
No, I saw the sign out there. I've stopped at the post office. I used to go to Renegade, and I drive by here. I didn't know what it was inside, But this is wonderful. I mean, it's a great way to get a point across. It's a great way to introduce people to what is available for free in the area. Exactly. So we've got different museums coming on, like I said, the libraries, and looking forward to it. And now I know we're getting more people that want to be on the show because they've seen Mashantucket Pequot Museum be on the show. Oh, you do that? Connecticut Audubon Society? Oh, maybe you do have a point. When you first start, it's like...
Well, you're going to also, we're going to have a Smithsonian-style, to me, grade Coast Guard museum.
Well, John Johnson from Thames River Gallery over on Bank Street in New London is on that committee for the museum. And JJ and I were in the Connecticut Marine Trades Association 35 years ago, and got the safe boating certificate passed and some tax work done. We trying to take care of Connecticut boaters. but he's on that committee for the new museum. And so I want to get him on the show talking about the Coast Guard Museum that's going to be coming to town. So
Yeah, I'd love to have you on the show. If you ever want to come on Born Political, and I'll come on your show and maybe learn a little
okay,
bit about
that sounds
some
good.
trails.
That sounds good. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary to all of
Enjoying
us,
it.
right? Yeah, great. Thanks for coming on. Conley gonna.
She's at the Groton City Police holiday party.
Oh, so what? So we'll.
Pit stop here.
Yeah. Well, I think we'll make this presentation. You ready?
Oh, no doubt.
All right, Frank. We have any board members that are still kicking around? So what we do have is Representative Baumgartner, who's on just before here. He's here right now. So we have a little presentation. You know what I'm going to do is let me turn this music down. How's that? Music is down. We're not live here, you guys, but we are still recording. So thank you all for coming up here and sharing your stories about SEC TV. Representative Baumgartner has a presentation to make. Representative Conley cannot be here right now because she's at the police party or Groton City.
Party.
There you go.
And Senator Summers also sent her regards.
All right. So
All right. So how's everybody doing? Excellent. Yeah. So first and foremost, I want to acknowledge our mayor, Rachel Franco. Thank you so much for being here, and also and supporting public access in our community. As you and I both know, it is a cornerstone of good governance here in Groton, in our entire region. The ability for any community member to tune in to their community members and being informed about what's happening. At a time when our newspapers are really struggling to get reporters over to key meetings, having the ability to communicate with interviewers such as Joe about what's happening in our community allows our constituents to know what's going on. And so for that, I thank you. I thank Frank. I thank each and every one of you, Terry, Suzette, Tony, the whole team who have committed so many hours with your wonderful television programs that we can always watch and look back on YouTube. Truly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for all that you have done. We are so proud of you as we celebrate your 10-year anniversary. And I have a small gift from the state of Connecticut on behalf of the legislative delegation, myself, Representative Conley, and Senator Summers. Yes, sir.
is there a check in there? No?
Stay tuned. We'll be we'll be working on that. We got a lot of reform to do on the Energy and Technology Committee next year to ensure that we'll be celebrating another 10-year anniversary and another 10-year anniversary after that. We need sustainable funding in place for public access. And so with that, from the state of Connecticut, actually, so the camera can see, Joe knows, he's been down this road before. State of Connecticut, General Assembly, official citation introduced by Representative Andrea Baumgartner, 41st District, Representative Christine Connolly, 40th District, and Senator Summers, the 18th District. Be it hereby known to all, the Connecticut General Assembly hereby offers its sincerest congratulations to Southeastern Connecticut Television in Groton, Connecticut. In recognition of the 10th anniversary of SEC TV, SEC TV was founded by Executive Director Frank Ficini. A lifelong resident of Southeastern Connecticut and a board of director made up of community leaders including an Emmy Award-winning television producer, a teacher and former curator, and the United States Navy Submarine Force Library Museum, and an attorney. SEC TV began operating in April of 2014, and the studio quickly became a digital town green, where people go to tell their stories and educate and inform the community. Productions at the studio and on location have increased significantly each year. Congratulations on achieving 10 years, and we wish you continued success for the years to come. The entire membership extends its very best wishes on this memorable occasion and expresses the hope for continued success. Given this 5th day of December 2024 at the Connecticut State Capitol in Hartford, and signed by the President Pro Tem of the Senate, Martin Looney, Speaker Matt Ritter of the House, and Secretary of the State, Stephanie Thomas, congratulations again.
There you go, Frank. All right, here you go. You got the mic now. 10 years, everybody. Frank, come on.
10 more years. Wow. Thank you, everyone. I'm very grateful for everyone who has come out tonight and just for your participation over the last 10 years. I'm just very humbled and, as I said, very grateful. I'm a man of few words most of the time. I don't have a whole lot to say, but I'm just, very, like I said, grateful, and we want to keep this going. So I would say that, as Andre said, what you want to do is write to your state representatives and senators and ask them, tell them this is an important local TV. This is the only local type of coverage we have in this area. So you want to really send that message home that we want to keep this going. And with all of you, we'll be able to do it. So thank you again. And I hand it back over to you, Jim.
Oh, this is Born Political. We're done. All right, thank you all for coming in. There's still a lot of food. And as always, anyone's welcome on my show and any of these other people that want to come on. Come on. Thank you for everything that you guys have done. Thank you for giving me the platform that I've had. And a lot of these people in this room I've got to interview, including the Little League president back there, right? It just goes to show that getting the word out isn't just for businesses. It's about our local community.
I thought of something else I want to mention. Now, there's people here tonight who've come. I want to introduce some of these people because they came out on a very cold, snowy night, and I think we want to give some shout-outs. So here we this is our state rep, Christine Conley. Thank you for coming. Also here tonight, we have a number of people. I'd like to start by, we introduced Rachel Franco. We have Suzette Tebus, who is the head of the Mystic Aquarium now, and she did a show with us for more than 20 years, Mystic Matters, and another show called Our Community, Your Voice, where she's interviewed Ava Frankie, who was here tonight to talk about the yearly Sergio Frankie Music Foundation concert. So thank you, Ava, for coming. We have Dr. Michael Sulo is here. He teaches art instruction, and he does a lot of sacred art for a lot of the local churches. So we're grateful that he's here. We have Bridget Morrissey and Will Morrissey, who hosts the show here, Nautical Trails and Nature Trails. And we have Terry Roper, who's a board member and does a show called Community Buzz and Potluck Politics. Who else is here? And we do have, who else is here? We have Peter Roper, who hosts the show Community Buzz and Potluck Politics. And Mark Russell, who is takes care of the Groton Schools, Channel 19, does a wonderful job. And from the Waterford Cable Advisory Council, because we're covering the Waterford area, Steve Marchessault is here tonight. And did I miss anyone? Is anyone hiding? Anyone who I did not mention? I think pretty much I've covered everyone who's here. And we have Lee Moore here, who was very involved with the startup of SEC TV back more than 10 years ago. So we thank you, Lee. And we actually have 3 board members I want to mention who are no longer with us, who really just deserve special acknowledgement. One was Phil Buda, who many of you know was involved with Groton Parks and Recs, and he passed away earlier this year. I just want to kind of acknowledge the contributions that he made because they were invaluable with our business plan and getting us started. And then Helen Rush also did fundraising for us, and she was one of our early board members. And then Dan Weaver, who also passed away, he was the Emmy Award-winning producer for The Phil Donahue Show and many others who helped us in our early days. So they're no longer with us, but I just want to acknowledge them because they were all a big part of why we're here now. And also Andy Schatz, who is still with us, and he's actually in New York City now, but he's an attorney who helped us, and he sent his well wishes. So there's so many people. It's a community. If it wasn't for the community involvement, we would not be here. So I really am very grateful, and I just want to thank everyone again for coming out tonight. Thank you.
Well, I did want to let Rep. Conley. She rushed here. I just want to thank you for being on the. If you want to say anything.
Well, congratulations to all the work you've done over these years that everyone has done, because this organization is not a one-person organization. It is a team organization. You've always been open to us and many more people on the variety of shows to talk about things. And as residents of the area, we've been able to look online and on cable and learn about things going on in our community, which would not happen without public access. So congratulations on all those who've helped over the many, many years, and to many more.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
All right, and I did interview the mayor earlier, but I think the mayor should say something.
Thank you very much. I was not prepared at all to make a speech. But thank you for everything. You are an asset to our community. You are needed in our community, and I hope you have 10 more years and beyond. So thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. And with that, we're going to say goodbye, but we're going to eat our cake. You're not going to be able to have it because you can't eat through the camera. So we'll see you. We're going to enjoy it for you. We'll see you guys next week, Thursday at 5:30. We'll see you.